So,
Wait.
you want to apply for a job?
Yeah, can't be that hard.
Not that hard? Oh boy, you're in for a ride.
What do you mean? I was under the impression that all you do is find a job you think you'd be a good fit for. Send in your resume. Someone reaches out for an interview. You tell them about yourself. You negotiate a salary you both think is fair. And if the interview goes well, the job is yours.
It's very, very simple, right? That's what everyone tells you to do. Make a bunch of resumes, fill out a bunch of applications, send them out, and you'll negotiate something. That's
It's not
simple,
like
right?
that at all. Looking for a job in the modern corporate climate is the most horrible, grueling experience a man can put himself through. It will make climbing Mount Everest with no arms and no legs seem like a cakewalk. You will hate your life. You will hate yourself. You will hate the people that did this to you. It will suck every ounce of happiness out of your spirit.
That's just called growing up.
So yeah, let's begin.
What I hate about applying for jobs, number one, the stupid job titles. Thank you. Let me tell you right now, job titles don't mean anything anymore. What what does a title mean anymore? Because there's just supervisor to manager to processor to team leader to motivator. I mean, what the hell are we even talking about? What are we paying you for? What do you do here? And then you got these like very pretentious titles for stupid positions. You're a coffee boy. Why are they calling him like an executive runner, you know?
You might have expected job titles that actually explain what the role is about. Well, think again. These days, every job sounds ridiculously fancy and
Chief Synergy Officer. Making sure everyone is on the same page or something. Yes, exactly. What the hell is this? Product Innovation Sensei. That is a job title? The dude that makes new products, I guess. I Who's hiring senseis? I really want to see that on someone's roster of employees. Client Success Specialist. Low-level customer service replies to angry Karens and gets yelled at a lot. So they're the people who call and get the reviews. Something that a Google review could be filled out or a Yelp, you know. And oh my God.
epic, whether or not it actually makes sense.
This one sounds pretty cool. That could be something for me.
Ah, so naive.
And of course, the nicer the name sounds, the more crappier and shittier the job is. Client Success Specialist, and you're dealing with all the shit.
So innocent. Now, don't expect the description to explain what it is that you'll actually be doing. This is a game of trying to find out why the job sucks and what they're hiding.
I mean, this job doesn't sound that bad.
Calm down. What this translates to is some good old-fashioned low-level customer service. You'll be replying to angry Karens on the phone.
But why don't they just spell it out?
I honestly have no idea. I guess they want it to be like a game show where you find out what the job is once you actually.
Surprise! We hired you. Now there's a bunch of things that we didn't talk about that we needed you on paper, but now that you're in and you're a part of the system, our business we're a family. We're all hands on deck, right? If you see a need, we fill the need, and you know you may be in this department, but if we're shorthanded on that department, we're just gonna move you over there.
Get there.
And what I hate about applying for jobs, number two, interpreting the job description. That is another good. Just love seeing those vague, vague job descriptions.
We're looking for someone who's driven. The person who gets this job should be motivated by more than just exterior motives.
Wow, not driven by
Sales.
exterior motives must mean they really...
It means the pay is horrible. They're just trying to get away with that.
Oh.
It also says the job is entry level, but you need 5 years of experience.
Well, I don't have that. I'll have...
Sales. Basically, you can make whatever you want, but you need to come in with all the experience of knowing how to sell a product.
have to find a job that doesn't require...
Don't bother. Literally every job in the universe requires previous experience.
But how do I get my first job if I need 5 years of experience to get a job in the first place?
Don't bother. I know. It's stupid. You're just gonna have to, bend the
Figure it
truth
out
a little in order to get your first job. It's the only way when you have to play by these stupid game rules.
Also, they don't mention a specific salary, but it says it's competitive. That's good, right?
No, if it says the salary is competitive, it means it's absolute.
Yeah, competitively low. That means they've done their research. They've basically, how low can you go? And they are not in any wiggle room. They don't want to. When it's competitive, I wonder how often they're actually renegotiating. And I've had those conversations in jobs. And I gotta tell yourself, every question you don't ask is an automatic no. So when you're applying for jobs, when you're talking about compensation, you gotta just be very clear and direct and polite. It's business, and there's a way to conduct yourself with business. But asking for compensation is something that you should expect, and it's funny to see how some people squirm on giving you a direct answer.
You will struggle with rent and basic necessities, guaranteed.
But I guess it doesn't matter. I get tons of awesome perks. Look, growth potential, flexible hours, free snacks. Sounds like a
Yes.
pretty cool workplace.
Ah, my young apprentice, you have so much to learn. Let me fill you in. Growth potential just means it's possible to get a promotion, but only if you settle for a horrible pay right now, because it could grow in the future. Flexible hours means they'll spam you with phone calls even when you're watching the game or attending your grandmother's funeral. Free
Yeah, flexible hours pretty much mean there's gonna be times where we want you to call you in. Now maybe they're cool and be like, okay, you can't make it, whatever, but they're gonna be calling like, hey, we have shifts for you to pick up.
snacks means soggy fruit once a week. I mean, if that motivates you, then sure, go for it, I guess.
Oh, that's discouraging. Well, let's give it a try. How do I actually apply?
This is where the fun begins.
Why I hate applying for jobs number 3. Getting someone to look at your application. This is where
Now begins the
I'm gonna tell you, it's very important. It's nowadays it's really not about education, although I encourage people to get their education, but it's about who you know. It's about who you know, making good impressions. Um, we're very animalistic people, and I have found that if you take care of yourself, if you're a likable person, people are very receptive to that. If you're not a likable person, guess what? People are not receptible to that. And when you're trying to get a job and you're applying for jobs, guess what? You are whoring yourself out. That is exactly what you're doing. You're trying to make people, strangers, like you. And you can some people call it fake, some people call it brown nosing or whatever, but you know what it is you got to put on your best behavior and your best attitude to make a good impression for people to want to deal with you, because you know what, everyone's dealing with bullshit. Um, so some people are really good at it, some people aren't, but that's the whole trick dog and pony show.
quest of trying to get your resume in front of actual humans.
It can't be that hard. If I just send my resume to the employer, they'll evaluate it and give me a fair chance, right?
You don't understand. It doesn't work like that at all. You're gonna have to fight like heck just to be given a chance.
Surely you're exaggerating this.
Give it a try.
It says I have to make an account on this job portal to apply.
Exactly. You're still so naive. In order to apply for that job you liked, you'll have to do the following. Spend 1 hour creating an account on this job portal. Write a personal letter. Upload it together with your resume. Fill out a long-ass form with the exact same information. The web
I absolutely loathe when you're applying for a job and they have the ability to copy or submit a resume that's already pre-made, and then they want you to fill out a resume and fill out an application. Like, that is just, whew, that makes your blood boil.
website might crash at one point and your information will not be saved. So you'll have to re-upload everything at least once.
All right, I did it. Wow, that was fast. I already got a reply.
Thank you for your application. Unfortunately, we have decided to move forward with other candidates.
Yep, your resume and cover letter was probably just scanned by an AI and labeled not good enough. No real human ever looked at this.
What the hell? I spent so much time working on...
I know. Just accept it. Just accept it. It is what it is.
Now, for like some really big companies, I can see that. You applying a job for Apple, Google, IBM, Intel, you applying for jobs that are big tech companies, big businesses too, big banks, um, you know, trading companies, financial advising companies, anything that has big software, um, cushy jobs. I am sure they pick the cream of the crop. And I'll also tell you, many of those jobs out there, nepotism's out there. There's a lot of grooming of next employees. A lot of times I have found in executive positions, they already have their next person in line picked out. And sometimes when they're doing a job posting, it's because it's a rule that they have to at least post the job. Like the city has to post jobs available, even if the job's going to someone guaranteed. They have to make it appear that it's for everybody. Everyone's got a chance. And I have seen people who, by all means, had no qualifications get hired over people who've had twice, or if anything, qualifications versus no qualifications. But it is what it is. And luckily for me, I've made myself. I've made my way. My wife and I we have found our own success. But being in a lot of business and office settings, you see things, and I've seen some people out there in some bad situations, or some things get, just bad decisions made. It's crazy how the corporate world is.
Well, this is discouraging.
Oh boy, you're just getting started. Before you go on any interview, you'll have to repeat this process a few hundred times. Buckle up.
And what I hate about applying for jobs number 4 is the long, annoying interview processes. Some jobs, 7 interviews, 8 interviews, meeting all the managers, going out to dinner, having a Zoom meeting, another interview, meeting.
Let's assume for a second that you actually got to the interview process.
Hey, nice to see you again. Thank you for bearing with us.
Have to see the recruiter, have to see the team leader, have to see the regional manager, have to see the hiring director, have to see HR, going back to the recruiter to make sure everything's set, and then you go and you have your final meeting with the crew.
Through the 50
sound about
different
right?
interviews with the 50 different bosses. You've been interviewed by me, by my boss, my boss's boss, my boss's boss's boss, my boss's 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 boss, my boss's 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 boss, my boss's 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 boss. You were even interviewed by the janitor and had a Zoom meeting with his cousins. You did an IQ test, AI test, DNA experimental test, physical test, stamina test, where we tested how good you are at testing tests who test tests. And now we have a decision. We have decided...
I applied for a gas station job once. Was it? No. No. It was a video store. I was working at this video store. I got the job, but when I applied, they gave me Sudoku puzzles. They gave me some word searches. They wanted to see if I can solve these things. Basic math problems. I was taken aback, and I can't. The world, we can't be that far behind that. Like you're trying to get a job, it's basically you're scanning movies and putting them on a shelf, and you got to tell me that you're testing these people for basic math is. We lost the plot, guys. I don't know what to say.
to thank you for your time, but we're going to move forward with a different candidate.
You know what? I'm not leaving.
Excuse me?
Give me the job.
Unfortunately, we have decided to...
Give me the job.
I apologize for any inconvenience.
I'm not accepting it.
What do you mean?
I'm not accepting your apology because I
never
don't think
gonna
you're
get the
sorry.
job.
It did cause me inconvenience. Yes, and your apology doesn't quite make up for it.
If you don't leave, I'm gonna have to call security.
I'll leave. Just admit that you're not really sorry.
I am.
I don't buy it. I just don't. Come on, admit it.
Okay, fine. I'm not actually sorry. I just get paid to waste people's time.
Thank you. Was that so hard?
Even if the
Getting
interview goes
ghosted.
well, even if you
That
walk
happens
out of
a
there
lot.
feeling really good
That's
about
happened to
yourself,
me.
you're essentially in no man's land. Get ready to be ghosted or put on hold indefinitely.
Hey, just wanted to see if there's any status update on that interview I had with you 3 weeks ago.
Oh, we're still reviewing candidates.
Right. So, like, when are you gonna know? Is it like a week? 2 weeks? What is it?
I'm unable to advise
2
you
months.
on that.
Okay,
6 months.
why?
We're just, evaluating candidates or something.
Can you just admit that you want someone better, but you're
Or
keeping me
something.
on the hook in case you don't
We're
find
waiting
them?
for a
Yes.
special
Okay,
someone
I
who has
hate
already
you.
been
Yep,
predetermined.
that's the
They
corporate
just don't
world
have the
for
right
you.
kind
It's
of
brutal.
credentials.
They'll pump you up with tons of false hope. They'll make you waste your time preparing for interview after interview, only to never be heard from again. I always get caught off guard with these final words. Just, if you're an employer watching this, please, 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 just treat job seekers with some basic human decency. Is it too much to ask? Don't make people go through the hell that this guy did. Do you have any nightmare experiences from the job market? Please share it with the rest of us in the comments section. It's a safe space. I promise. Let's get through it together. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and of course, subscribe. Then watch another video.